If I had a budget of $1,500 a month to market your garden center, what would I do? Hi, I'm Rebecca McCusker, owner and founder of McCusker's Marketing for independent growers. Now, many garden centers aren't sure where to spend their limited budget or they spend it in the wrong places. I've seen garden center owners ask me, should I be spending money on billboards, radio, newspaper? And I've seen companies also spend thousands of dollars a month on just vague SEO services where they're not sure if it's creating foot traffic or benefiting them. So in today's video, I asked my team here at McCusker's Marketing, what would you do if you had a budget of $1,500? What I would do, I'm the head strategist here. And what I would do personally is if I had just $1,500, now that doesn't really go super far. So we need to make sure that every single dollar counts. So what I would do is first, social media and newsletter. And when I say that, I mean that we're using social media to broaden the audience and to enhance word of mouth and local regional awareness to your business. And we're also using social media to grow that newsletter list. So we want to go from, 15 people and your mom, or from 3,000 people all the way up to 10,000 subscribers. This is how you own your audience. And with social media, I would also absolutely leverage local partnerships, not just of other local businesses like maybe cafes or yoga practitioners. There's a lot of opportunities to expand your reach with partnerships, but I would also focus on creator partnerships. There are content creators on social media that have a following of, maybe 5,000 people, maybe it's 30,000 people, and they're in your town. So we want to be inviting those people to come over and capture content, photos, videos, a story around the day they had at your place, at your garden center. And we want to encourage them to post about it, share it with their thousands of followers who otherwise may not heard about you guys. And then we want to amplify the best content from that. This is a great solution to the problem I hear all the time when garden center owners say, we've been around for 40 years and there's still so many people around us that have never heard about us. So I would focus on those activities. And then finally, I would focus on Google and AI visibility and local search. We need to make sure that your Google My Business profile is on point. We need to make sure you have lots, and when I say lots, I mean hundreds and hundreds of strong reviews for your garden center. We need to be updating the photos all the time. We need to be updating hours. We just need to be making sure that you are highly visible in local search. And we do this also through blog content. Now at $1,500, this is where we're starting to cap out because we can no longer start to afford things like blogs. But still, you can optimize your website and you can run maybe one blog a month. So that's what I would do with a budget of $1,500. So let's pass it on to the rest of the team. What do you guys think? What would you guys do with $1,500?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Preston, and I'm the Director of Written Content for McCusker's Marketing. If I only had $1,500 for a marketing budget, what would I do with it? Well, I would focus on SEO optimization and newsletters. Why? Well, SEO optimization ties in with AEO, which is essentially tricking the robots into finding you and putting you higher up on the Google search. Now, why is that important? Because when you're higher up on the Google search, then your customers are likely to find you. Let's be honest, how many times do you go to page 2 and 3 of a Google search? Not very often. Neither do your customers. So you need to optimize your website for SEO and AEO. Again, that's the robots, trying to appease them and get them to pick you. That way, you can appear higher in the Google search and your customers can find you and go to your garden center, winery, or agritourism business. Also, keep in mind that 80% of millennials and Gen Z shoppers go and look at a company's website or a business's website before choosing whether or not to shop with them. Also, 74% of that same group says that if a website feels out of date or if the blog isn't being updated, then that negatively impacts them and they choose to shop elsewhere. I would also choose to use it on newsletters because newsletters let your customers know what's happening, why they should come to your garden center or winery or agritourism business, and why they should be so excited about you. It's a way to create a community, engender loyalty, and keep them coming back to you.
Hey y'all, I'm Abby. I am the director of social media here at McCuskers, and the answer to this question is probably going to sound biased, but I promise you it's not because I value all of our services. That said, if I only have $1,500 to market my own garden center, I would absolutely start by investing in social media management and newsletter. And that rate, we're going to be looking most likely at a 1 email a month newsletter with audience management. So when utilized correctly and optimized for your success, social media can get you so many things. So the way we approach our social media is we're going to focus on increasing that reach and increasing your discoverability, which means you're going to be reaching new audiences and it's going to be easier for people to learn about you. We're also going to put a heavy emphasis on engagement and storytelling, which is going to help strengthen the relationships you have with your existing audience, your existing customers, and really build that brand loyalty. So when people think of your garden center, it is going to be their number one place to go. And the other thing social media can do at the same time is drive direct conversions. That means that we can drive email signups. We can drive ticket sales if we're doing events. Not a lot of garden centers are doing online sales, but if you had some sort of online sale going on, we can drive direct sales via social media, right? We can build you out paid ads and boosts and really hone in on that audience and, track those conversions. And with that, we're also going to be utilizing and growing that newsletter. Whether or not you have an existing newsletter audience is fine. We will help you grow that. We will link it to your webpage as far as a sign up. We will use social media to grow it. We will look for integrations in store to grow that audience. And the great thing about a newsletter audience is that you own it. As long as those emails aren't bouncing and people aren't subscribing, you can be sure that they are receiving your messaging. With a lot of other marketing, no matter how good you are at targeting, it's pretty impossible to know 100% that person is seeing and receiving that message. They're also usually a warm audience, right? A lot of times they are people who have chosen to subscribe, so they are ready to receive information from you, and most likely they're wanting it. So email is another place where we can drive a lot of loyalty, right? Strengthening relationships through education, through service, and we can help with conversions. Whether we are directly selling things in an email or just using that warm email audience and more quickly converting them into getting into your shop and making purchases. I think 1 email a month is perfect. I find that a lot of small businesses right out of the gate don't necessarily have enough content to send more than 1 email a month. So, having one really good, strong email with a beautiful list that is, warmed and primed and ready to receive it, we are going to see some awesome results.